Welcome everybody. This is Afro Rooted episode 2. Thank you guys for tuning in to the previous episode. Thank you guys for engaging with us, giving us good, encouraging words and your support. How do you feel about it, are you?
Pretty good so far, to be honest. A couple people have gotten back to me about feedbacks, the stuff they like, stuff they that we can work on, and it's looking positive. It's getting good numbers. Thank you, everyone, for watching, commenting, and talking to us about it.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, and we have a lot of great content coming for you guys. First episode was basically about us just explaining ourselves or explaining the episode or how the podcast is going to go. This is going to be more about what our like core content will be, I guess, if you want to call it that. We're going to be discussing the Ballon d'Or shortlist and our African players that are nominated in there. If you haven't checked out the list yet, it's Riyad Mahrez and Mo Salah are the ones that have been nominated from all the African players. We're going to be discussing a little bit about that. And we're also going to be discussing Edouard Mendy, which is a player that most people thought should be on the list and wasn't on the list, caused a little bit of controversy in the in the Afro scene, especially. Everybody was questioning that. So we're going to be touching upon that as well. Yeah, it should be interesting, man.
Yeah, and we touch on the who to look out for moving forward. You know, the young kids that are coming up, potential next year nominees,
yeah.
and hopefully future winners, Afro winners.
All right. Should we get started with the stats?
Let's get into it.
Yeah. So basically, I'm just gonna give you guys a couple of stats to kind of see how their 2021 season went for Riyad Mahrez and Mo Salah. So I'm gonna give you guys the games they played, their goals, assists, shots on target, their goal conversion rate, and the minutes they played. So looking in the club stats for Mo Salah played 41 games. In those 41 games, he was able to score 27 times, assist 7 times, and had 64 shots on target, which gave him a goal conversion rate of 42.2. And we have Riyad Mahrez with 36 games for Man City. And he scored 15 goals and assisted 8 times, which gave him a goal conversion rate of 40.5. And in terms of their minutes, Mo Salah played 3,773 minutes as of this recording, and Riyad Mahrez played 2,500 games, which is, I guess, 1,500, almost 1,500. 1,500 minutes. I guess less than Mo Salah did. So put that in perspective, I guess. So you want to touch on
this? I think it's really interesting that the situations that the two players find themselves in. So Mo Salah, especially this season, is like pretty widely being spoken of as like the best player in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Riyad Mahrez is kind of feels, especially this season, feels like he's fallen out of love with Pep Guardiola. So. You know, the rise and the fall of the two players and like the difference is really interesting to see. But on top of that, the value that each player brings to their team is like really different. So Man City has like a really heavily loaded squad. Pep has a lot of options. Like on the wings. You could like, especially this season, you even see like someone who we might have thought was more of a center forward, and Gabriel Jesus playing out on the right wing, which would typically be Mahrez's position.
Seems like City doesn't have a target man, right?
Yeah, it feels like the
goals are spread out between teammates, I would say.
Yeah. Especially this season, you're seeing that even more. Like last season, of course, they even won the league with that, but this season, like it's completely like there is no focal point. And we know that they seemed intent on buying one with Harry Kane and that. But They seem to like keep like whatever
And
happens, they just keep
it's
going, you
working
know?
for them
Yeah,
even without Harry Kane. So it'll
yeah,
be interesting
exactly.
to see how they continue.
Yeah. But yeah, I think
I think
with
yeah, you touched upon good points. You brought up a good point where like I feel like the context is different
yeah,
for these two players.
yeah,
And like when we talk about Ballon d'Or, I feel like uh, how do you really measure a player is what most people ask you, I would say, right?
yeah,
And for me, like just like you said, they both have different influences on their team, I would say.
yeah,
Riyad Mahrez is part of the Man City rotation, I would say.
yeah.
Man City does not necessarily depend on Riyad Mahrez,
Hmm.
but compared to Liverpool, where Mo Salah plays a more key role in the team,
Yeah.
gets more minutes, and uh, that's something I feel like that should be considered as well
Yeah, and I
when
think
looking at
that's
this.
something that I was looking into their expected goals, their shots per 90, um,
Hmm.
and I found some interesting some data on that. So pretty much this is over the course of the 2021 season. Salah's shots per 90 was 3.68, but when you compare
Wow.
that to Mahrez's, it was 2.66. And both of them, it seems, are taking more shots this season. Salah has four shots per 90, and Mahrez is 4.91, despite him having a couple fewer, like way fewer minutes and
Yeah.
less appearances than Salah. But um,
Yeah.
it seems in general, over the last few seasons, Salah has been taking way more shots and has been given more license to, you know, be creative and be
Kind of
more
has that free
attacking.
roll a
Yeah,
little bit more.
exactly. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
think that the Man City setup and the Man City dynamic requires Mahrez to be a bit more like a balanced player,
Yeah.
whereas Salah is like a goal machine. Especially this season, we're seeing that more.
Yeah.
His expected like goals per 90 is almost his highest average over all of his seasons, like his third highest this
And
season
I
so
think he's
far.
currently also the top scorer in the
Yeah,
Premier
yeah,
League,
exactly. Yeah, with
which should put him at a good
11 goals. Yeah,
position. But
yeah,
another thing I was gonna say about this whole Ballon d'Or thing is I feel like what kind of puts Mo Salah a little bit at disadvantage is the fact that he hasn't won any silverware this season with
yeah,
Liverpool or with I mean you can't really say Egypt because the AFCON hasn't happened yet,
yeah,
so that might not be a fair like measurement. But
yeah,
compared to the others, like the non-Africans that are in the race,
yeah,
have had the Euros or the Champions League winners. Like Jorginho has won the Champions League,
yeah,
so it's kind of like I think that might be the factor that Mo Salah
yeah,
doesn't have this season.
yeah,
And if you look
yeah,
at
yeah.
Riyad Mahrez, he what
Won
does
the
he
Premier League
has
last
that
year.
the Premier League
Yeah,
and a Champions League. He's also the Champions League finalist,
yeah,
but then
yeah.
again, that comes
I
back to
guess.
what we said earlier, like in terms of involvement and impact. So
Yeah, yeah. I guess they won the Carabao Cup as well, maybe last year, right?
yes,
Man
yeah, they
City.
did, right?
So yeah, I mean, he has the silverware, but I wonder,
But
like,
it's more the team,
yeah,
right?
yeah, that as well as like Lewandowski is probably like top two contenders, right, for the Ballon d'Or
Yeah,
this year, which
he's
is
also one of the favorites because I believe that they didn't do one during when
yeah,
the
yeah, last
pandemic
year,
happened.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So there's a lot of debates that are saying like, oh,
It should
how are we
continue on.
considering this whole Ballon d'Or
Yeah,
thing? So
yeah,
there's
yeah,
huge debate going on that Lewandowski was doing good pre-pandemic as well.
yeah,
So it'll be
yeah.
interesting to see how they kind of deal with that. You know?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's really interesting too because if Salah had like if he had played in a non-Premier League team, so if he had gone to like the likes of Bayern Munich, PSG, or Real Madrid, the
Yeah,
chances of him winning the league would be much higher. So I wonder if they scale
like the
or
leagues.
take into account
Hmm.
the difficulty of the league. I
That's
know
a
that
very good point because
yeah,
the Premier League is like is we all know is super competitive.
yeah,
Week in week out is it's a
yeah.
tough game.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. The one thing would be against them is that they didn't perform well on the Champions League stage either. Um,
Yeah,
so maybe, I mean, maybe next year. I think Salah is definitely like one of the stronger African players, like to actually win it within the next 2 or 3
Yeah.
seasons.
And he's been pretty consistent too. To
Yeah,
be fair to him, like over
yeah,
the past like what 3 seasons or so,
yeah,
he's been, I feel like, constantly like delivering, and like
yeah,
everybody, he's expected to deliver and he delivers. So I feel like
yeah.
we kind of hold him to a certain standard as well.
Yeah, consistency is actually something that I heard was one of the reasons that Edouard Mendy didn't get nominated for the Ballon d'Or. I saw a statement
I
that
see.
came out that said
Uh,
his rise was so sudden and quick that he maybe hasn't performed at that level for the number of years that other goalkeepers and players have. So
I see.
many of the
See,
players on the list have been playing at that level for like 4 or 5 years. And I'm not saying I agree with this
you
statement.
know, I hear you. I feel like if I mean, that might be the case, like you say, why they didn't put him in there. But just looking at purely like just the stats over 2021, like that's one of the reasons why I think it has caused controversies, because like you said, he did rise quickly,
Yeah,
and yeah, he basically came out of the blue for all, for all
yeah,
practical purposes. But I feel like he has made a huge impact in terms of helping Chelsea win the Champions League, and pretty much, holding it down for them, basically,
yeah, absolutely.
if we look at even the stats,
Mhm.
um one thing that like I think Donnarumma is the only goalkeeper that got
Nominated. Yeah,
shortlisted for the
yeah,
Ballon d'Or,
yeah,
and that's who I compared him to kind of see like if he could have made the list. And
yeah,
making the comparison, I think that if you allow Donnarumma, I feel like you could make the argument that Mendy should also be in there,
yeah,
because looking at their stats, if we're comparing their stats, number one, like Mendy has played more games in general. Like even this season, I think Donnarumma hasn't played enough League
hmm,
One games to be in that list, whereas Mendy has, he has the games. He's played the games for Chelsea, and he's been an integral part of Chelsea.
yeah,
And you- yeah, I think Mendy played in 2021. He's played 40. Yeah, he's played 40 games total, I think. And
mm,
Donnarumma played 35, but that's also including Europa League from last season, and then 2 Champions Leagues from this season. Um, and out of those, Mendy has managed to have 24 clean sheets, while Donnarumma only had 12. So that's
yeah,
12 less clean sheets that Donnarumma has. But then again, Donnarumma had a great Euros. So it's like,
yeah,
where do you draw the line? You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
And
yeah,
Mendy didn't get the chance to play the AFCON yet. So
yeah.
these are the type of things that went through my head while I was trying to compare these two.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you'd imagine that winning the Champions League would carry more weight than it does,
Hmm.
than the winning the Euros does. I mean, um, I wouldn't say that Chelsea were one of the favorites to win the Champions League either, but especially before
That's true.
Mendy joined the team.
Hmm.
Um, and considering the impact that he had on the team, displacing Kepa, who was the most expensive goalie transfer in the world before that, who he himself is actually a like pretty solid goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, like from a country perspective as well. Like I guess the only opportunity he had to showcase his skills is through the World Cup qualifiers, and
Yeah.
like Senegal did pretty well with that as well.
I
So
mean, they did pretty well too. And if you
yeah,
see the World Cup qualifiers too, I think they've rested him some games because they already knew they were
oh
qualifying.
yeah,
So it's kind of like they were
yeah,
saving him. If you see the last game, he didn't
yeah,
play. So it's kind of hard to judge him. Like maybe after the AFCON, we could just have a different conversation
yeah,
and see how he impacts the national team. But just purely by seeing the club stats, you can make the argument that Mendy should be in there because he's had a tremendous impact.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think regardless, he's gonna be in the conversation for next year for sure. He started off the season really well. Chelsea has the most clean sheets, lowest goals conceded in the Premier League this year. So far,
Yeah. So
um,
far, so good for him.
yeah, I mean, he's he's
Yeah.
he's 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 staying on track to get nominated next year as well. So, and he's also said that it's not a controversy for him. He's going to be pushing for it for the next year. It seems like he isn't too phased about what happened.
Yeah.
Um, but speaking of African players who might have made the list, I had another guy who was a really high performer who I think is like I don't think it's too much of a shout to say he should have made the short list as well. And he
Yeah.
is Ashraf Hakimi. Bro,
Hakimi,
eight
man.
goals,
It's a good
seven
shout.
assists, 21 clean sheets.
Yeah.
Serie A winner. He's like an insane. He just transferred over the summer to PSG
Hmm.
for insane amount of money. Also like performed really well with Morocco as well with the
Yeah.
World Cup qualifiers. He's probably like at this point he's literally like a 22-year-old or maybe just turned 23, and I think probably one of the best right backs in the world. And
No,
like to
definitely.
take
Yeah.
to like I know there are a few Inter players like I think Lukaku who was an Inter player, Chelsea player now, Lautaro Martinez and Barella maybe made the short list, but I think that
But do
his
you also think it's because they're attacking players? You know, I feel like Ballon d'Or
yeah
always
yeah
has like
yeah
seems to favor attacking players
yeah
or reward attacking players more than like defensive players
yeah, it's
and
always gonna have that
goalkeepers for that
bias. Yeah,
matter.
it's
Yeah.
always gonna have that bias. I think everyone like football is a spectacle. It's to be entertained. So
Yeah.
the players that do the entertaining the most are but like, dude, Hakimi is a really attacking fullback. So
I mean,
um,
he is,
yeah,
but and I feel like it just needs to be taken into consideration as well, because
yeah, yeah,
like there's going through he should at least be in the top 30. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
That's
for his
that's what I would
performance and for
say.
his
That's
impact.
what I would say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Um,
agree with you on that, man.
yeah.
Yeah, for other players that should have been on this list, I'm not too sure. But if
Yeah.
you want to, we can move on to players who we think can make the list maybe in the future.
Yeah.
If you're down
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah. I actually have a few players. I know that you have more African players, but I have a few Afro-rooted players. So
Okay.
players that are of African descent but don't really represent Africa on a national team level.
Yeah.
So a couple players to look out for, not necessarily next year, but over the next maybe 3, 4, 5 years, right? So
Yeah.
the first player that I think is definitely going to be in the reckoning is Camavinga, Eduardo Camavingo, who just transferred to
That's
Real
good.
Madrid.
Yeah.
Came off the bench, scored on his debut. I think he's really promising player. And just to give everyone a background of how he's Afro-rooted. He was actually born in Angola
Hmm.
to Congolese parents. Um, but yeah, as probably most of you guys know, he committed to play for France. He's already made
Yeah.
his debut. He's one of the youngest debutants, like since
You know,
the 70s.
yeah.
But he,
This could go deeper. We should actually make another episode just on this. You know,
yeah, yeah,
just
for sure.
Afro rooted
Yeah.
players that haven't chosen the African continent.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I
Yeah,
think we could do a series. Let us know what you guys think
definitely.
if you're interested in that.
Yeah, man. Drop it in the comment if you guys
Yeah,
are interested in that. Let us know.
I think he's a really solid player. I think Arsenal was linked to him over the same summer, and I was really hoping he'd come. Manu as well, I think, was linked to him.
Yeah, we
But in
also
the end,
heard.
he chose Real Madrid. I think a lot of young players like Mbappe we're seeing is linked now, and it seems like he really wants to go there as well. So it's just one of those teams where, you dream about playing for Real Madrid. So
Yeah,
when they come for you, you're probably gonna pick them.
that's
And then
always tough, man. You know, like
yeah,
always your childhood dream, and then
yeah,
you get the chance to do it, and it doesn't come around very often. So
yeah. They're not
I
gonna
mean,
knock on
you
your
can't
door
really
more than
be
once or
mad at a
twice.
player for that.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah.
And then my second player to look out for, and I
Hmm.
promise this has no bias.
Okay.
Um, this player is another one. Both of these players are on the Golden Boy shortlist. Is Bukai Osaka.
I know
Um,
100% that was gonna be your second choice.
Bro,
But
Bukai
yo,
Osaka.
I get you,
Bukai
man. Like
Osaka.
I get why you would say that, man. Like yeah, and fairly so, man. Because
Yeah,
Bukai Osaka is a feel like he's young and he's always calm and collected. Even
yeah,
does good at the national team level. I mean he's
yeah,
got the chance at least to
yeah,
break through
yeah,
that
yeah,
that tough English team.
yeah, yeah. Nah, man, he's a insane talent. He this season he started off a bit slower than he has in the past, but
Yeah,
at his young age, he's literally carried Arsenal on his shoulders. He's been one of our best players last
yeah,
few years, and I think that he definitely is on track to at least make the short list in a few years. So
yeah.
um,
Nah, I would definitely say
expecting,
so because I think
yeah,
what Phil, I'm not if I'm not mistaken, I think Phil Foden made it on this list, right?
yeah, he did, yeah, Phil Foden did, yeah,
So I mean, if Foden can make it, I think like you can make the argument that Bukayo Osaka could be up there. They're
yeah, man,
same
yeah,
generation,
yeah,
kind of. I mean, Phil Foden probably is there because of Man City, to be honest,
exactly. That's what I was
and the
about to say. Is
results,
yeah, the
and
yeah the team
but I
that
feel
he
like
has
if
around him.
Bukayo had maybe a different team, or if Arsenal were to level up to that level,
Yeah,
then I think it would be a different conversation, maybe.
yeah. Yeah, I think definitely you put Bukayo Saka on a stronger team
Hmm.
or a stronger setup. He's definitely going to be performing better as well as winning more accolades as a team and as an individual. So, um,
Definitely.
with the trajectory Arsenal is on, we can expect that anyways. So, those are
No, that's great, man.
my two players to look out for. Who did you have, Visti?
Yeah, I focus more on that on the African players like that play
Yeah,
for the continent.
yeah,
So these are not necessarily players that I would think would make it like within like let's say next year. I think to be honest, to be realistic for me,
yeah,
next year we'll probably see more of the same African
yeah,
players just because they're at the peak of their career. So maybe
yeah,
Sadio Mane might be in the mix again um if he picks it up this season again.
yeah,
I think you can expect to see Mo Salah and Riyad Mahrez, depending on how many more minutes he gets and how much more impact he has. And
yeah,
we also have the AFCON coming up, so I think that's going to be a huge factor for who's going to be on that short list. I think
yeah,
so. They're going to have
yeah,
more of a chance to be in it. So
yeah,
if you win the AFCON, it's automatically like I feel like that's something that's going to carry weight.
yeah,
So yeah, I feel like those players and Senegal is a pretty good team. So one of the favorites for the Afcon. So you should and same as Algeria. So
mm,
you could expect to see these people there.
yeah, for sure.
But just looking at young talent that I think can break through the major scene is for me is a player that really caught my eye is Victor Osimhen.
Hmm.
And I mean, at the time of this recording, we just found out that he got injured. But if I think that if he like gets I would say give him like a season or two. I think he's going to be a player that's going to break through the Premier League, or you'll see him. I feel like in one of these top teams. I'm pretty sure he's going to get picked up. He's super in form. Last 8 games, I believe he scored 5 goals. This is including the World Cup qualifiers, and a player definitely worth watching out for. And he's attacking player, exciting to watch because he's scoring goals. Um, Another attacking player that I think is also about to make his breakthrough is Sebastian Haller, the Ivorian striker. That I think, to be honest, I think he could contribute a little bit more to his national team. To be fair, but in this season he's been amazing in terms of play, contributing for Ajax, and especially in the Champions League too. He does score in the Eredivisie, but I'm focusing more on the Champions League because the level is higher, and he's I believe he scored 7 goals so far. He's top scorer in the Champions League. So I feel like these two players are players that are about to break through, and hopefully we can see them and well, hopefully we can see them win with their respective teams, or even just move on to bigger teams. Another, sorry, African player that I think is also interesting to look out for is Ismail Assar. I feel like the Senegalese player has been amazing. I mean, there was last season we didn't get a chance to see him because he stuck with Watford, his team, and it played in the championship. Did amazing. Like I don't think it hurted
Reputation, yeah.
his development in any way
Yeah.
because he was still young. I feel like a season in the championship just means more games and more for him, less pressure maybe even for him.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's definitely another player that's about to break through as well, and hopefully he could get also picked up by a bigger team, and he could contribute to his side in those terms, I guess.
Yeah, he's one of
He's
those
also
players
been doing
that,
good in his national team. He's been contributing.
yeah. He's one of those players that you could easily see fitting into one of the bigger teams, and you can see
Definitely.
as he plays with Watford that he's just a level above all of his teammates, and
Definitely.
he's
And I think
usually
he
the one that
even
they
scored
look
like
to.
against United and stuff. Like if you
Yeah,
see him, like nothing phases him. It's like
yeah,
all these big teams, doesn't matter. He just gets to it and like really professional.
yeah. Look forward to seeing. I mean, he was linked to Liverpool. You never know. They have a couple
That might
guys.
happen. Agent Money might make it happen. They're pretty close in the national team and everything. Like
Yeah,
I think I'm not sure when it was, but I feel like I've seen him like Sadio Mane has talked about him.
yeah,
I think he would love to have him. It would be great to see him in Liverpool.
yeah.
Kind of put him under his wings.
Yeah, man. I think he would thrive in the system. I think he's a good player for it.
Definitely, yeah. He
Really
could fit the
direct,
system.
fast player with the technical skills to do a lot. So, definitely one to look out for the future. One of these
Definitely,
young African talents.
100%. And yeah, is there anything else you want to cover on this episode
That's pretty
before
much it, man.
we end it, man?
Yeah, Ballon d'Or is coming up this coming Monday. Look forward to seeing who's nominated. Hopefully, Salah over the start of this season has proven that he.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw him being ranked pretty low a few months ago. When pages like or platforms like Bleacher Report were doing power rankings, they were putting him around like 10 plus or like 10th, 11th, stuff like that. And I was pretty like confused about that, considering he's definitely had one of the best seasons.
Yeah. I
Definitely
think
top
it
10
might
at least.
that might
Yeah,
have also like come down to what we said about like the
yeah, the
silverware and stuff,
team.
because
Yeah,
I feel like that's always an argument they throw in there whenever they don't put you
yeah,
in there.
yeah. But I
So I
think the
mean,
stats this
hopefully
season
they'll
at
make
least.
at least top five.
Yeah, at least,
Uh,
man. Like I'm
yeah,
expecting top three, man. Like,
top three.
yeah,
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's a far shot. Yeah.
yeah. Especially the way
Um,
that he started off this season. The stats speak for themselves,
who do
man.
you think is gonna win it?
Lewandowski. I'll put it on it.
Lewandowski.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go with Jorginho, man. I think that's who's
Really?
gonna win it.
I
I know.
guess. Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
Many
I
people
would
might
be
not agree with me on this,
I'd be disappointed with that.
but like because
Yeah, Champions
Champions
League
League
and
and then
and
Euros,
Euros.
like I feel like I don't know in terms of
Silverware wise,
impact, silverware.
yeah, silverware wise, and I think in the past they've also been
But he
pretty
is a
silverware
defensive mid,
biased.
so he's not. I don't think he's gonna be the favorite for it. But it's just my, I guess, wild prediction. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, but didn't Lewandowski break the Bundesliga scoring record last season? Um, like
I mean, I guess if
I'm
they weigh
I'm
that,
I'm pretty
I mean, he's
sure
been
like
scoring a lot of
yeah,
goals.
I'm
So
pretty sure he literally broke the record for most goals in a Bundesliga season. Um, like of course it's typical of them to win all of the German cups and the league, but
yeah,
nah, I think he's had an outstanding season. I think he deserves it, and I think he was robbed last year as well. So
yeah,
yeah, definitely Lewandowski. If not Lionel Messi, And
Yeah.
I don't want to hear none of this talk about
Well,
Jorginho.
we need an African Ballon d'Or winner soon again, man. Somebody has to, challenge George Weah's only title.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, we'll have
I think that was
someone
like
soon.
in '94, so
Yeah,
it's been a while since
has been a while.
we won
Yeah,
it.
I think definitely closest player right now is Salah. We'll see. We'll see
Yeah,
how he does.
no, that's great, man.
All
Yeah,
right, thank
thank
you
you guys
guys.
for tuning in, man. Yeah, appreciate it. If you stayed on this long as well, I really, really appreciate it. And then, yeah, man, give us a like, subscribe to our channel. Just uh, write down comments on whatever if you guys want to see something new or just communicate with us, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, we haven't been posting consistently, but we have a couple of videos coming
Yeah.
up that I think you guys will like a
Now
lot.
there's definitely more content coming soon, and then yeah, be patient with us still because we're still in the process of figuring out or like shaping Afro rooted in general. So yeah,
Yeah,
we just want you guys to grow with us. Hopefully, if you enjoy the content, and yeah, it's gonna be more to come, man.
yeah, and make sure you follow us on Instagram as well. We'll put all the links in the description below.
Definitely.